Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about a major Dungeons & Dragons event. Wizards of the Coast, the creators of Dungeons & Dragons today, have acquired Dungeons & Dragons Beyond from the company Fandom. They bought it lock, stock, and barrel, and D&D Beyond is now officially owned by Wizards of the Coast. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. We're going to talk about whether this is good or bad, and maybe hit a few more points. So one, is this good or bad? This Nerd Immersion is wrong. Nerd Immersion does amazing content. I really like his stuff, but I'm going to point out when he's wrong, and I think he's wrong on this. He's like, oh, this is a good thing. This is what everybody wanted. This is not a good thing, it's hard to see why this isn't a good thing, but it is not a good thing, and I'm going to tell you why. Here we go. Why is it not good that Wizards of the Coast purchased D&D Beyond? Well, the reason that D&D Beyond wasn't owned by Wizards of the Coast is Wizards of the Coast is generally pure, I'm sorry to use this word, they're crap at digital, period. Done. End of sentence, right? By the way, this isn't, it's not because Wizards of the Coast isn't trying to be good at it. They literally can't, right? They are building their primary product is a 1974 analog product. That's primary content vehicle is the physical book, okay? Now, none of that is bad, but it makes it so that their company is the farthest away from being good at digital, right? Now, it's not just them. I'm actually the tech lead in my church, right? And I constantly have this conversation, right? Whenever we want to do anything in the church, every church elder, every ministry leader is like, let's buy this Christian piece of software. And I'm like, don't do that. Please, for the love of all that's good and holy, do not buy Christian software. All Christian software in the world sucks. It's all terrible, right? And the reason why is generally Christians, especially evangelical Christians, abhor and fear technology, right? So the material they make generally costs a lot of money because they strive so hard to create it, and it's way worse than what you could get for free, right? And same thing, Wizards of the Coast doesn't have a chance in heck of being good at digital. They desperately want to be, but they are not going to be, right? That company wasn't born out of digital. Its primary product isn't digital, and they have no hope of being good at digital. And I'm fully aware they just bought digital leaders from Microsoft, right? But the reality is their primary product lives best when it is 100% non-digital, right? So Wizards of the Coast doesn't have they don't have a snowball's chance in the hot place of being good at digital ever, right? And even if they succeed and they become really good at digital, all it's going to mean is that they no longer have the ability to create the golden goose that shines light on everything they do, which is Dungeons and Dragons, right? Actually, I was about to say Magic the Gathering, right? But the reality is Magic the Gathering has Dungeons and Dragons intimately mixed with it right now, and the future of Magic the Gathering settings very well may be Dungeons and Dragons settings, right? So even Magic the Gathering doesn't stand alone. Dungeons and Dragons is a brilliant, shining beacon of knowledge, literacy, passion, love, art, right? It is part of humanity's intellectual evolution, right? And the reality is nothing escapes its orbit. Nothing. As soon as anything is near it, it's captured in its orbit, right? And Magic the Gathering is the same. Magic the Gathering makes way more money than Dungeons and Dragons, right? But the reality is Dungeons and Dragons has already pulled Magic the Gathering into its orbit, right? Because and people get shocked by this and they don't understand it because they don't understand what Dungeons and Dragons is. The reality is Dungeons and Dragons is, in my humble opinion, a human self-help engine, a self-help engine for all of human society that Gary Gygax disguised as a game. And some people still believe to this day that it's a game. I don't, right? I think it's 100 times more than that, right? And it's deeply, deeply involved with the intellectual evolution of humanity, right? And I know I'm the only person who believes this, but so here's the thing, right? So this is not good. And the reason why is The reason Wizards of the Coast didn't build D&D Beyond was they couldn't. They already tried. If you don't remember Gleemax, look it up. It was a absolutely catastrophic, horrible specific execution of a very bad electronic version of Dungeons & Dragons, trying to make it D&D accessible, and it failed. It utterly, distinctly, soundly failed, right? And so D&D Beyond was created by fandom because they're a good digital company. Now that D&D Beyond goes back into Wizards of the Coast, all their cruft, all their terrible ideas about digital products, all their ignorance, all their lack of understanding is going to get shoved into that product, and it's going to get worse every single day under Wizards of the Coast ownership, bar none. There's no way around that, right? So my whole video was whether it was good or bad, and I have so much to say on this on D&D acquiring D&D Beyond. It's a huge event. I really appreciate that Nerd Immersion was on it right away. I got my news about it from him, which is, like, it's fascinating, right? Like, fandom and Wizards of the Coast have their own, channels to get news to people. This news came out, from Nerd Immersion. He's really on point. All that's my opinion. Do you disagree? Do you think there's any chance this product will get 1 ounce better under Wizards of the Coast ownership? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have one wonderful millennium.